Hey YouTube!
I'm Jaryd.
And I am Rob.
And today,
we are watching
Eurovision.
Woo! Woo!
It's true. Today we're going to look at Sweden.
You're already biased towards them. You seem more...
I do feel chipper.
You
I love
seem
Sweden.
more because you're from Sweden.
I'm not from Sweden.
How are you related to Sweden?
How am I related?
Jaryd's dad is the king of Sweden or something.
Yeah, essentially. My stepmom and my two brothers are Swedish.
Right.
I'm a little bit biased.
So Jaryd does have some prior knowledge of Sweden. As in he's been...
We.
What's Sweden like, Jaryd?
It is the most beautiful country. The most beautiful.
I'd love to go.
Oh, we'll go.
I've heard good
After
things.
this video.
Sure,
Go right
just
now.
hop on the plane. Have we been to any other countries?
I went to, we haven't seen it, but I went to Finland for a bit. And I was briefly in Norway. But he didn't call me back. So Sweden are the second most successful country in Eurovision. They've won 6 times.
6?
Yep,
Wow.
count it off. It's 1974, 1984, 1991, 1999, 2012 and 2015.
That's 6, and you are showing off now with your Eurovision knowledge. You could have just named any random 6 years. You could have said 1842.
They brought us ABBA with Waterloo. That was the first win for Sweden in
ABBA.
1974.
So this, right, ABBA have only entered this Eurovision Song Contest once.
No.
Oh.
So they entered in 1973 with a different song and they didn't qualify to represent Sweden.
ABBA didn't qualify.
No, ma'am.
What is going on?
That just goes to show it's so unpredictable, you never know. But then they came back a year later and they are now one of the biggest groups in pop history.
Oh, 100%. Everyone knows ABBA. Everyone
knows
has
ABBA.
heard of ABBA.
When you ask Eurovision knowledge or trivia, people always go straight
ABBA,
to ABBA.
yeah. If you haven't heard of ABBA, what are you doing? Get out.
In a modern day comparison, when people talk about what Eurovision songs do you like, and people sometimes think they're not the biggest fans of Eurovision, everybody knows Euphoria.
Euphoria, forever day and night time.
Stunning.
You're welcome. You are welcome.
There is it's a bit of a gift and a curse of winning Eurovision, because not only do you get a platform for you and your music, which worked for people like ABBA, for people like Celine Dion, but also when the country hosts the competition, it costs a lot to throw such an extravagant competition.
Yeah.
But it also does bring in a lot of money with tourism, tickets, everything that's coming in. So it works a bit both ways. I think if the country is financially strong or able, they are more willing to want to host the competition.
Why didn't they want to win it 2 years in a row? Do you think that would have been just too much stress?
I think it also could come down to the fact that maybe they did ask the artist to come back, and sometimes the artist says no.
I suppose, yeah.
They feel like they have nothing left to prove. Also, sometimes they send another artist who they think are going to win, but then the vote goes the completely different way. You can just never know what's going to happen.
It's true.
From the 21st century onwards, they have the most top 5s with 11. And I think their worst place in the last decade was 14th place.
Which is still top half.
Which is still top half. So when you think about it, they really are powerhouses in Eurovision.
We are going to watch Sweden's entry for this year, for 2021. And then we're going to go back a year, back in time, jump in the TARDIS or the DeLorean, depending on which time travel you're into. Or even the hot tub. Remember that? Time travel's hot tub. Yeah, we're going to go back a year and watch 2020's entry for Eurovision that never happened. Heartbroken.
Yeah. So Tusse won Melodifestivalen with the song Voices. At the time of the competition, I believe he was 19 years old. So this is a very young entry going into the competition, and all eyes are going to be on him to deliver yet another crowd pleaser for Sweden.
So Melodifestivalen, you told me about this in a previous video, is the Swedish kind of
the entry process.
Event, for how they choose which artist is going to...
And it's a massive deal over in Sweden. Like, everybody tunes in to watch this competition because they take it seriously. There's multiple semi-finals, heats, wildcards, and then a final.
Like Uno, wildcard.
Like Uno. Oh, I'm so nervous. Okay. Sounds like bagpipes.
There's fire in the rain, but we'll get up again. With eyes
listen to that bass behind it. And we have some kind of suede bathrobe suit.
Yeah, that is a cool outfit.
And then the bling. Love that.
A lot of bling, very sparkly.
Good use of the LED.
I mean, it's already very catchy, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can tell.
It's got a great voice.
You can tell.
I mean, the song's got voices, you would hope.
You can tell Sweden are good at Eurovision.
Yeah. They have great performers, I think.
Oh, love that strobe lighting.
Yeah, they come.
The backing dancers.
They're all very silhouetted out. I think that's very strong.
Yeah, they like disappear. Amazing.
Sing it, boy.
Yeah, this is like so Eurovision.
It's got a hook to it. I think that's always
Yeah.
important for the chorus. You need to have something that just goes,
Yeah.
delivers a big statement. Sounds great. We've got pictures of people behind them. The camera work is so clever. I think they're focusing.
Key change! Of course. Wouldn't be Eurovision without key change. Yes, find that camera.
Oh my god, the production value of this is tier A. This is so good.
Tier A.
The lighting, the smoke, the dance, the movement. It's so impulsive.
I'm already singing along. It's really got to. Oh, yes.
Awesome.
19.
19 years old. I was still collecting Pokemon cards at that age.
19.
And what a stage to kind of debut on.
Was that like a live performance at that?
Yeah. That was the live performance of Melody Festival then.
Right. Because I think that's one of the first we've seen where it's like been a filmed stage
performance.
as opposed to the others which have been music videos. So
it's better that way, I think, because you get to see the performer before. You can see that there's definitely a voice there. There's definitely a performance there. Whereas in music videos, you don't always get that. It's kind of left to the night. Yeah. Which has been a failure for a lot of songs going into Eurovision, because we hear a great song, we fall in love with it, and then the live is a bit...
Yeah. But on the other side of that, I think it is interesting because it kind of slightly keeps it in suspense about what the actual performance is going to be like live.
Very
like
true.
you see the music video, and then as you say, they might flop, or they might be even better live, or it might be very different how they portray the music video on the stage, or they might just completely do away with the music video and go with something completely different.
Different
on the
direction.
stage. I suppose it's almost kind of like, do you think they'll do exactly the same again, or do you think they'll maybe have slightly different?
There are sometimes changes in between what happens in their national selection and then what happens in Eurovision.
Right.
I think it can be as subtle as costume changes because, we got the budget now, or it can be maybe they'll try different, maybe they sing in a different language. You never know what's going to happen on the actual night. I think we'll probably see Sweden in the top 10. I think they've got a steady placement there because the juries love them, the public loves them, and that was a captivating performance. So
very good. Let's watch last year's and compare. So this is the first video we've done where last year's entry is a different artist to this year's entry. So I'll be interested to see whether they've gone for someone who sounds similar or whether it's a completely different kind of thing. Do you know whether this artist, the Mamas, is that the artist?
The Mamas.
Did they decline to enter this year, or were they refused entry this year, or did they just not win Melody Festival this year?
So the Mamas were invited back to perform at Melodifestivalen this year, and I believe in the results they came third place with their new song, beaten by Erik Sade, who came second, and Tusse, who won the competition.
Okay.
So unfortunately the Mamas didn't get to perform last year because it was cancelled, but they were backing vocals in 2019 for John Lundvik, who sang Too Late for Love. So they have been on the stage. That came fifth place.
It feels fair that all of the artists that didn't get a chance to perform last year should just get a free ticket essentially to perform this year.
In an ideal world, the artist would be able to come back with the exact same song and just perform, but then you can't have the same song, so then it would be ideal to let them come back with a new song, which many of them have. But for some countries, not only did they go in a different direction, but they also invited the artist to participate, to compete again. As opposed to just giving them a ticket straight to Eurovision, they said you will have to face off against others.
Yeah, but it does show you how seriously Sweden takes Eurovision. They're not worried about hurting anyone's feelings about giving them a free ticket to the final.
Well,
they're just like, look, if you're good enough, if you can prove you're good enough, you can come back. But if you ain't up to scratch, you're out. So let's watch 2020's entry by the Mamas. This is Move.
We fight, we fall, it's alright, that's life, whole life. We wipe those eyes and
just a bundle of joy, aren't they? Look at those smiles.
Yes.
There's the lights.
Wow, look at that.
It's a power move, that is. Lift your arms out, let the lights take over the stage.
Yes, look at the moves. Go on, ladies.
There's so much soul behind them as a soul and gospel group. Very beautiful voices when they're combined together.
Eyelids, eyeshadow.
Oh, I thought you meant the earrings.
No, the glittery eyeshadow.
Oh yeah.
On the one on the right. So shiny.
This is such an uplifting anthem.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
I think, you bring, it has the soul, there's the glitter, there's the strong women on stage. The voices just come together so beautifully. And the choreography.
They're loving it. They're having a great time on stage. They got really good stage presence.
They really do.
Whoa, that's a lot of people.
Oh yeah, Melody.
Remember those times? Sit next to someone.
That's right. Attack the camera, you let them know who to vote for.
On that stage.
I love a song that you can just clap to.
Oh,
Yes, girl.
I really like that. That was, yeah, like you said, very uplifting. Full of joy, full of happiness. They had a really, really great stage presence. They were like, we're so glad and proud to be here.
They're fun to
that.
watch.
Yeah, really fun.
I think that makes an enjoyable performance.
Yeah, you can tell they're having fun, and as a result, you have fun as well watching them. Yeah, I'm kind of gutted that they don't get to come back and
Shine themselves.
yeah.
It's
So,
great. It was
yeah,
great
we
to
can-
hear them in 2019 because they've had their chance to be at Eurovision, just not by themselves.
Maybe they'll come back next year.
Maybe. I think the good thing about Melodifestivalen is that despite people winning or despite people entering to compete every single year, they continuously come back. Like Eric Sade represented in 2011, and he's continuously there. Loreen enters several times. So talented. It's just, you know, it's the votes just got to swing that way. And I mean, they got 3rd place in Melodifestivalen, so it's not like...
How many?
By the time we got to the final, I'm sure it must have been like a top 10 or top 15. Sweden, we will see you
In the final.
in the final.
Yeah.
Is there any question?
No. Are you happy with not your country, but your step country?
Step country.
I don't know.
I always love Sweden's entries.
What do you guys think? Do you think that Sweden have been harsh to basically make them come back and compete again just to get to the final when they earn their right to be there? Or do you think it's fair and it promotes a better quality of music by having that competition every year? Let us know in the comments. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff.
All those good vibes. Send them out our way.
See you on the next one.
Take care, guys.
Bye.